Hey everybody, what's going on? Hellmite here, bringing another video from Grab the Lantern. Today we're actually back with the Runeterra content again. I've still been having a lot of fun with this game, and we are finally playing the deck that I've been having the most fun with over the last couple of weeks. I know I did the Vayne Jax one. I didn't want to play that because I was having a lot of fun with it, but then I saw all the Darkin cards come out. I love Darkin, and I really wanted to make a deck around it, so this is what we are playing today. Now, for those of you who are about to complain at me for being like a power gamer or for copying a worlds list, honestly, I built this in reverse. I knew I wanted to play Aatrox and then realized I wanted to play a lot of the cool cultist cards, and I couldn't because Aatrox doesn't let you do that. In order to do that, I needed to play either Kayn or Varus. I didn't have any Varus's copies, so I decided to slap Kayn in, and, well, we pretty much have a very similar deck to some of the ones you might have seen at the World Championship. Either way, I think it's a ton of fun, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys and play it in a video today. So let's go ahead and take a look at the card by card real quick. You guys probably have seen a lot of these cards, but for those of you who haven't, we can do a quick rundown. Now, the point of this deck is basically to play out a lot of the Darkin equip spells on early units, build up a board threat, play the Aatrox, come down with the World Ender, and just end my opponent under a storm of Darkin. It's really cool when that happens, but usually it doesn't get that far. At the 1 mana mark, we've got Buhru Cultist and Forsaken Baccai as our 1-drops of choice. Buhru Cultist, I think, is a very good aggressive choice, especially given that she's got a little bit more health, which means that if I can slap a Darkin Spear on her, you're pretty much always going to get in for a bunch of attacks, and therefore get a bunch of the pumps into your deck, as well as just be able to do a lot of damage with her own effect. Forsaken Baccai is very nice to smooth out the early draws. Even if you pick a Darkin equipment, that's really not that relevant, but it does help you find what you need in the early stages of the game. We're also running 3 copies of Momentous Choice and 3 copies of the Darkin Bloodletters, the first of the 7 Darkin items that I am playing. Bloodletters, I think, is phenomenal because it lets you trade up in the early game. It's only 1 mana. It replaces itself with a unit if the unit is equipped to dies, and the fact that Darkin Thrall gets really big when it's equipped, as well, is just icing on the cake. And Zolani is a house. If you have Zolani, you just kind of end the game with her, which just makes it a really, really powerful choice. And Momentous Choice is like one of the best combat tricks in the game. The hoop you have to jump through in order to get the equip, or in order to get the doubling, is like phenomenally low in this deck in particular, and it just blows people out. +2/+0 or +0/+2 is like really strong, and the fact that this happens at burst speed as well makes it even better. So phenomenally good choice. This is one of the reasons why I'm in Cultist, because I really wanted to be able to play this card. At the 2 mana mark, we've got Keeper of the Box as our singular unit. Keeper is phenomenal as well. Fearsome and Lifesteal. Again, we can pretty much bank on Lifesteal automatically because of how easy this deck has at equipping things. Is a very powerful combination. This can be an aggressive unit if my opponent is playing super low to the ground, or it can be a defensive unit with Lifesteal to help keep me in the game for longer periods of time. Very useful overall. We've also got the other 4 Darkin weapons here, 2 copies of the Darkin Harp and 2 copies of the Darkin Spear. The Spear is extremely useful due to how it pumps up allies in the top of your deck, potentially meaning that your later draws are going to be much stronger and help you either stabilize the early game or make your Darkin much stronger when you finally do draw into them. Naka, honestly, I don't really care about a Naka at all, but I guess she's nice to have if I'm able to actually play her. Darkin Harp, though, a very good aggressive card thanks to the quick attack. This especially means that some of the cards I'm going to be attacking with, my opponent's just never going to block them. And Steratu, of course, is just a value engine. Attack with Steratu once, and you've pretty much gained enough advantage to be able to close out the game from there. At the 3 mana mark, I have exactly 1 card, and it is Blooming Cultist. It did lose a tune recently in a micro patch, but honestly, like, a tune was gravy for this card. I think a 3/2 elusive for 3 is perfectly playable, and the fact that it had a tune on it as well was like mind-boggling. I have no idea why it ever had that, so I think it's perfectly still playable, and definitely a good choice for either Darkin Spearing to get more procs off, or just as a relatively safe unit to put equipment on. 3 copies of Furious Wielder. This is just really strong in any deck that wants to be playing lots of equips. It is 4 mana, so I have to commit to using it, but very strong because it's one-sided fight. 2 copies of Ranger-Knight Defector. I'm not sure about this one, but the fact that I can get Scout onto my bigger Darkin makes this card potentially very strong. I don't necessarily like the stat line very much, but theoretically I think Ranger-Knight Defector could be quite good. We've also got 2 copies of the Expanse's Protection. I'm only running 2 because I think this is a bit of a brick at times. It doesn't give any combat power, but Spell Shield for 2 mana at burst speed is very strong indeed. At the 5 mana mark, we've got Heedless Resurrection. This is another, it's a bit of a brick. There's a reason I'm only running 2 copies of this, and it's because sometimes it just doesn't do very much for you, but other times you play out a Kayn or you play out an Aatrox and they get combat tricked or they get vengeanced, and then you have Heedless Resurrection to just get them back, which is nice, and 3 mana for that effect is very good indeed. We've also got our first champion, which is Kayn. Kayn isn't exactly the heart and soul of this deck, but I really like what Kayn does. Obviously, he's not very efficient until he's actually flipped, but either of his flipped forms I think are quite strong. I'll almost always be going for Rost because I think Rost is just the better of the two, but I have won games based off of picking a clever Shadow Assassin, so a very strong unit indeed. I've also got 3 copies of the Unforgiving Cold. It's very expensive, but the fact that it's almost always going to double itself means that you can really blow your opponent out with this card at burst speed and be quite strong. Finally, we've got 3 copies of Aatrox, the World Ender, and the reason this deck I think is so much fun, not only is Aatrox just an absolute house of a card on his own, a 6/6 regenerate is just so hard to deal with. His champion spell is extremely strong as well, and of course we have to talk about World Ender, just a game-winning card if you're able to resolve it. Not only does it make Aatrox big, but if you have any other card on the battlefield equipped with a Darkin weapon, you're just gonna end the game off of it. That's how strong it is, and I'm sure you guys don't need me harping on about it. So that's the deck. I'm sure you've seen stuff like it before, but I want to play it for a video anyway, so let's go ahead and jump into the games. Up against Wildling for game 1, playing Ziggs, Bandle, Shurima. It's going to be landmark focus. It's going to probably be pretty aggressive and trying to take me out pretty nicely. I see we're using the same sleeves. I do dig that. No Darkin in hand. That's a little bit awkward. I talked a lot about how this deck is very good, and how a lot of the hoops we jump through to get the card's effects are trivial, but I don't actually have any Darkin in hand, so this could be a little bit awkward, but I think we should be fine overall here. I'm going to go ahead and hit him with the same sleeves emote. Okay, into the Inventive Chemist. We can at least come down with the Buhru Cultist. I'm not going to block here. I think the extra health is more useful, and I can hold off for a Momentous Choice in the next turn to get more value. I'm really hoping to high roll into a Darkin weapon here, though. I think that would make this... Well, it's not a Darkin weapon, but it could theoretically get me a Darkin weapon. Let's go ahead and go digging. Ooh, that's really rough, actually. We'll go digging for it on the next round. And Acolyte's Reliquary, I see. I probably should have swung with the Buhru Cultist here as well, because I could have gotcha'd him with the Momentous Choice, but like I'm alright with trading these guys out. I have seen this deck before. I don't know if I necessarily think it's very good, but I think it's potentially very scary. And there's the first one, of course. So here we go. He's off to the races. Can we find a... Okay, there's the Spear. Perfect. We're actually going to get the Baccai pump as well, and that's going to be the Kayn putting himself in hand, which is like the dumbest thing about this deck, honestly. I have no idea why the Kayn and Aatrox and Varus all put themselves in your hand when you played enough cards. I think that in particular is the part of this deck that's like, why? That, I think, is what pushes it over the top a little bit, but... So we do have the Spear, so what I'm going to do here, so we can Defector, because I can slap the Darkin Spear onto the Defector and then attack twice, because it'll get Scout once I've equipped a unit for the first time. And he doesn't have the mana available or the means available. What is that? Manifest... Oh, okay. So that's actually pretty smart. That's kind of a fun little play there. Yeah, so we'll Spear. And now, even if he has a combat trick, I do have the Momentous Choice in hand to keep the Ranger-Knight Defector alive. There's also going to be double procs on the Buhru Cultist. Oh my god, okay, Ranger-Knight Defector, you might have sold yourself for me. Oh, he's not even blocking. This is actually a ton of damage here. You know what, I'm going to try and bait him as well. Because we have the ability to maybe just, like, completely blow him out. Yeah, I think this is totally fine, because now we're getting rid of his Cultist as well. We're in for another 5. We have 2 procs of Darkin Spear already online, and we can come down with the Kayn on the next turn. This is looking really good so far, but I don't want to say... That's a 4/4 Keeper of the Box. That's very nice. Okay, he's going to go get his other landmark. He did. He managed to hit it. Very nice for him. I'm tempted to... yeah, you know what? Let's just Keeper of the Box. Because now he doesn't even really want to attack, because I'm gonna heal actively from him going to combat. We can come down with the Kayn in the next turn as well. I don't really have a good target for Kayn to go... Oh, well, you gave me one. I'm going to save this 3 mana here for the Heedless Resurrection, on the off chance that he's got like some way... Oh, well, actually, I have saved the mana now for Furious Wielder, actually. That is what I have saved it for. So let's see if we can get in here for some good hits. I can do a Scout in. Okay, he's going to go get another Ruinous Acolyte, make them all even bigger. They are very large indeed. So I can try to one-sided fight this guy. There's not... Okay, I know I'm always swinging here, and I know I'm always swinging here. So what I think I can try to do here, I can Furious Wielder, because that way the Kayn will strike twice, and that'll allow me then to trade out on this Ruinous Acolyte. I don't really... The Ranger-Knight Defector has done enough for me at this point. I've gotten a lot of value, so... He does have 4 mana. There's a potential for things being really bad here. Right a negation? It is right a negation. He's going to even kill the unit that I was going to try and have Kayn strike. So I'm actually getting no strikes. That's not great for me, but I do have Keeper of the Box, who should help keep me topped up. Ooh, into Unforgiving Cold, too. That's very good for me. And here we go with another Reliquary, so he's got another Acolyte in hand. We do have an Unforgiving Cold to gotcha him. I want to save at least the 5 mana. Let's go ahead and put the Spear on the Acolyte. Actually, I wasn't even thinking about it, but that does get me into the Aatrox, who I can then drop on the next turn for potentially a ton of value. So the question is what else he's got access to. Well, Unforgiving Cold here, which will immediately Frostbite both of his guys, and my units should be fine. I don't think there's any combat trick he could play to kill these guys, unless he had like every single copy of Shaped Stone in his hand. So Kayn struck once now, which is really nice for him. Obviously, he's not really going to be able to challenge this guy once he gets unfrostbitten, but we do have the Aatrox as well. Oh, these guys are so friggin' large, though. The Aatrox actually, I don't know that I can really do much with the Aatrox, as much as I would love to, but, like, because they're just too big. They're just, like, objectively too... that is a very large cultist, though. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is the play, right? We can go for, like, a lethal push off the cultists. Depending on what he's got, of course. Deal 2 and summon... I have never seen that card in my life. Yeah, that's like fine. We'll do our second cultist here. And he doesn't have enough blocks. So, because he's taking 9 automatically from the 2 cultists. Actually, he does have enough blocks to not die. But it's not a good spot for him at all. And we can even kind of like use the Kayn. Okay, he's gonna Rite of the Arcane. That's what his plan was. But he is losing a lot off of that. I think that's totally fine for me. We're gonna get in for 3 elusive, and I think we might just ride these cultists, these Blooming Cultist, to victory here. I think I have a bit of an edge in the later stages of the game here, just thanks to Aatrox and the potential for a big World Ender here. Okay, another Reliquary, so he's gonna get another Acolyte. We'll play out the Aatrox, and it's only an 8-cost World Ender. So on the next turn, like I'm just playing World Ender, right? I don't even really care. So yeah, no, you're welcome to swing here. They are quite large. That is a bit of a problem. All right, Kayn is dying for my sins. Let's actually block like this. No, because I do want this guy to die. We can get the Spear. We can put the Spear on the Blooming Cultist. I do want to at least trade out with one of these guys. So we're not taking that much damage either because we're getting the healing off of this. We have a 6-cost World Ender now. We can go ahead and slap the Spear on the Cultist. And on the next turn, I need 9 mana. I'll have it. I can Heedless Resurrection into World Ender and just like try to end the game off of that, depending on what he's got in his hand, of course. Or you know, I can hit a Kayn too. That totally works, and he's actually larger, and I should still have the mana for a World Ender. So I think this is like game. Okay, Reliquary. Yeah, that's fine. You can get your big dudes, and let's end the world. very, very sick animation. I'm not gonna lie, it's absolutely sick. What they did with Darkin in this game is phenomenal. I'm gonna stop fanboying, but like it's very cool. So this gives me the free Kayn flip. I'm gonna take Shadow Assassin in this game because he's elusive, and yeah. Oh, it actually automatically gives me Rost. That's funny, but yeah, he knows the game's over because I'm just gonna overwhelm him with a shit ton of Darkin. I didn't even think about the fact that he could have been playing Rite of Negation, and I would have just gotten like blown out for my life savings. But like, hey, I'm not gonna complain. Game 1 in the bag. Go ahead and hop into game 2. Game 2 here against Ambush 27, playing Kayn Illaoi. Now, I was informed by a good friend of mine recently that there is a card in the new set. There's an equipment that lets you spawn 2 whenever the card attacks. And it's really good. It's like everything Illaoi needed to be remotely relevant. I think Illaoi's design has been really bad, but that card, like, on its own, made Illaoi very strong. Let's go ahead and open up with the Forsaken Baccai here. Disappointing we didn't see any Darkin. I probably shouldn't have picked the Kayn, but whatever. We're actually in for 3. That's really good, actually. I think that's off to a great start here. We can keep her in the box on this next turn. Kayn is kind of going to be rotting in the hand, but that's fine. He's got nothing. Okay. He's going to do the hired gun because he knows he has to clear something. That's a weird inclusion. I think she's fine. I don't know. I don't think I've seen a human being play that card in a long time. So let's just get in for damage. His hand is really bad. No equipment yet. I know I said it's so funny because I made such a big deal about, yeah, it's trivially easy to get all of the equipment effects online, and here I am in game 2 and I have none of my equipment effects online. On one hand, I don't want this guy to survive. On the other hand, I don't want to trade out, like, the only unit I have on the battlefield right now. Like, yeah, it's not very mana efficient, but my opponent hasn't been very mana efficient either. We are going to at least curve into the Kayn. We now have our equip effects, which is nice, because now I've got Expanse's Protection and Momentous Choice online. And he's got his own Kayn. We'll give him a wave. Let's go ahead and grab this guy, see if we can take him out. I mean, Spawn does not feel particularly good into Kayn, who just wants to find, like, weak guys to beat up on. So, you know, that's pretty nice. Now, I could just drop the Aatrox. He's actually going to go for it. The question for me is what he's... So I'm going to slow roll this. I'm just going to say, you know, fine, your Kayn can strike, but he's not going to kill my unit, so he won't heal either. Okay, he will Momentous Choice himself. I will now Unforgiving Cold, just to shut down his Kayn, in case he has a Furious Wielder of his own. Okay, he's going to Momentous Choice again, which is not going to get him close enough. So his Kayn at least still strikes, I think is what he's worried about. But this does mean I can challenge him and kill him with my Kayn on the backswing. I'm actually fine passing here. I'm just worried if he's got... See, I figured he had something else here. I don't know if this works. You know what? Nothing ventured, nothing learned. Let's just see if this works the way I want it to. Okay, hilarious. If he's got another Momentous Choice, I'm actually kind of screwed. We're gonna... No, wait, no! His Kayn recalls! Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay, well, you know, that's on me. My Kayn doesn't even strike. Oh, jeez. Okay, so we're just gonna, like, come down heavy. I have never seen that card before in my life. Oh my god. Okay, well, goodbye, Kayn. That's really bad, because now he gets to get his Rost out. He's gonna have a pretty big Rost, too. Yeah, he did go for the Rost. Yeah, 5/6 is pretty nice. And I can play the Aatrox, but if he has, like, any degree of combat trick, I'm in a bit of a problem. We'll do it, though. Just because I think Aatrox is a good way to potentially help stabilize. That's fine, because we trade. Like, that's totally fine. Oh, no, we don't trade. Where did he get a quick attack from? Hold on. Oh, that's what his champion spell does. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think I've ever read Kayn's champion spell. Well, This is not good. I think I just lose to this guy. Oh my god. Because the Ross is like too big for like anything in my deck to deal with. I have the theoretical World Ender to do something. The question is, can I survive? We're taking 9 here. I'm gonna do this just to try and limit the amount of damage I'm taking. The lifesteal obviously isn't super important. We're also getting stacks on the World Ender, which is like gonna have to be how I win the game. So we can Baccai, we can go digging for, well, Resurrection. It helps, but I think it is a little too late at this point. Oh, hilarious. Yeah, we're just gonna get another Kayn here. And then we can keep her in the box. And then I'm just gonna start slapping equipment on stuff. He's into his Illaoi too, but that was his attack. Okay, we've got an Aatrox in hand as well. This is going to be a little dicey. A little bit dicey. We don't have any challenger either, so we can't cost reduction. Okay. We can at least get the second Kayn out. We can challenge and kill the Watchful Idol. And then that gives me the ability, don't you Kayn's thingy me again. Well, yeah, okay, at least Kayn does strike here. Kayn does strike here. That does give me the cost reduction on World Ender. I think a big open attack just kills me. I don't think I actually can survive a big open attack, but we're gonna see if he goes for it. Illaoi hasn't flipped yet. Yeah, I mean, do you open attack? If you don't... Okay, yeah, there it is. Is there any way I survive this? I don't think there is, because Illaoi's just going to be too big. Yeah, because even if I chump here, it's exactly lethal? No, I survive with 1 health. If he's got any kind of rallying, I don't know if he has any or not, but like, hey, if he has any kind of rally, I just die. But I'm not dead. Oh no, hold on. Does she get any more points of power off of the level up? If she does, I am dead. I think she does. No. No. It took it into account. Okay, we're not dead. We're not dead. We're in it. We're in it to win it. What does he got? What does he got? That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I don't care. We're just gonna load up on equipment. We're gonna drop the World Ender, and we're literally just gonna hope it's enough. No, what does he have? Answered prayer? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care how big your tentacle gets. Alright. we're back in it. Okay. Okay. Here we go. He shouldn't have a counterspell. He should have no answer to this. So it's just gonna be the clash of the big bunguses. Furious Wielder, that's fine. Expanses protection, we're good. Unless he has another one. Okay, he's gonna go digging. He's on the 4 mana too. Oh no, please don't hit another one. Okay, perfect, perfect, okay. He doesn't kill, and we get the World Ender off. Now this revives Aatrox, and so we actually have an Aatrox champion spell in hand too, which is really nice for me. This gives me Rost. We learned how this worked in the last game. And we have the Aatrox champion spell in hand. So we actually have an Aatrox that cannot be blocked. Yeah, let's just commit here. We're gonna just annihilate the Illaoi here with the Deathbringer stance. And this is also going to give me just a little bit of healing to maybe stay alive. And we have double Darkin Bloodletters, which is really funny. Alright, Aatrox. Now kill the Rost. Nice! It's gonna resolve! And I don't even care, right? Like, we got the Rost out of the way. That's his Overwhelm. Okay, Watchful Idol, that's fine. I have blocks, right? Like, well, I have a block, and it's Rost specifically. Like, Rost is who is saving me. And as long as he doesn't have his dude that... No! Well, I can't live that, I don't think. I don't think there's a way for me to live that. We do have a bunch of health. He has to swing with this guy as well, which means we can... he's swinging with him second, though. Yeah, alright, you got it. I don't have a GG, but we'll give him the Nocturne. Damn! Close. I wanted to beat him because he was being a bit of a dick spamming the Braum emote, but like, dang! It turns out the only way you can beat Darkin is with a ginormous friggin' tentacle. He's kind of sauce in there. You know, I can make a lot of excuses. I'm sure I misplayed at some point, but hey, we made it close. That's all I really care about. Let's go to Game 3. Into Game 3 against Smitty, playing Ryze Elise. Now this is the shell that I've seen of it that I actually think is, I know I was talking in the last video about how I think this deck is bad. This is a shell that I think actually has some legs to it, and basically the idea is that you play Ryze, I don't think you even need the Elise, and you play like 37 removal spells, and you literally just, if your opponent can never play a card, you win the game by default. Oh, not a Quietus. That's fine. You don't attack into this guy, because what'll happen is you give Elise a spider, and if you give Elise a spider, she's gonna flip, and if Elise flips, you lose the game. Okay, let's see if we can find a Darkin weapon. There's the Spear. I do quite enjoy that. Alright, and we're even going to get to save the mana of the Momentous Choice. So, he's like sitting on a lot of mana. I'm not sure why, but we're going to get this Darkin Spear attack off, unless of course he Quietuses me, which he very well could. I don't think you can pick both modes on Quietus though, so he's either choosing to destroy the equip, or he's choosing to kill the unit. If he kills the unit, I just get the Spear back and can replay it. Minion. I guess he's just like trying to like stall for time. That's why he's not attacking. I know he's gonna get the minion back, but we can Momentous Choice here. I think this is fine. Help keep the units alive early. It definitely does help when I get to the Aatrox as well. You know, hilariously, I might need to run more equipment. I feel like I've never had this problem when I play this deck off camera, of course. But like, certainly on camera, I have had issues actually finding equips. Okay, and there's the Ryze. Now, we do theoretically have an answer for it with the Kayn here in a sec, but let's go ahead and Forsaken Baccai. I don't know that I want to choose the... You know what? Actually, I think I will pick the Aatrox. This guy's really large, too. Okay, we have Kayn, so we have the ability to go for the Kayn champion spell here as well, which I need to remember is a thing. So we can Kayn. We don't have mana for... we don't have any combat tricks. This is 4 mana. Oh, dang. I thought that was 3 mana for some reason. Okay, he's Delvin, so this is probably going to be for whichever World Rune gives him the Rune Prisons. Would be my assumption, at least. I think that's 2 Delves he's played? Okay, Shard of Madness to just try and get cheaper shit. Okay, that's fine. Let's just get in here. Oh, no, he does get the Rune Prison. Ah, that is the Rune Prison. Okay. Yeah, so he should Rune Prison the Kayn. He's not Rune Prisoning the Kayn. Okay, you know, I'm not gonna complain. That gets me close to a Kayn flip. I can even Kayn's Shadow Step on the next turn to help kill the Ryze. Okay, he's gonna go get another World Rune. That's fine. Oh, heal Ryze for 2. That's actually irrelevant. I can still kill him. I can still kill him with a Shadow Step. The other thought would be to go into the Aatrox, which... so many cards. Oh, it's not actually going to show me the World Ender. That's totally fine. Okay, he's got another Rune Prison. Oh, well, actually, he's had it. I don't think he remembered he had it. Either that or he spent all of his mana. Okay, refill 2 spell mana. So he does have the spell mana on deck. And that gives him the Ryze flip 2, actually. Plus the full health Ryze. So I actually can't even kill him with the Kayn now. So we'll just go into the Aatrox here. We have a 10 cost. I can actually go for this on the next turn. Yeah, he's like, alright, I'm just going to play this dude and hope for the best. So we can just drop World Ender. He could theoretically be on Rite of Negation, but I don't know how much time I have to actually get rid of that guy. So let's go ahead and pop this. And that, you know, minimum it gives me the Aatrox flip, right? Even if he's playing Rite of Negation, it gives me the Aatrox flip. Should get an Anaka off this too. He's not on the right, or well, maybe he is, and he's just trying to go dig and find it. It wasn't a windmill slam though, so whatever he's grabbing, he's not happy with necessarily. He's thinking about it. He does have a Rune Prison. I got to keep that in mind. He does have Rune Prison to help mitigate some of the damage I'm going to do to him. But here we go. All right, so Anaka, show me you serve useful function. Ooh, Rost having a Challenger as well is actually going to be really useful here. We theoretically could get the Ryze. No, because I don't think he's going to get big enough. Yeah, because it's a attack. Give it +1/+1. Yeah, so let's just try to get in for like a lethal push here. We're going to get the Cultist off the top from the top 6. Attacking follower non-champion Darkin. Okay, so there weren't any non-champion Darkin in the top, unfortunately. He's trying to decide what to actually Rune Prison here, but I think we're going to run over the Ryze regardless. Yeah, so that stun is going to be going Aatrox's way, but we're still in for a ton of damage. We're also getting damage onto the Ryze himself, which should make it easier for me to then remove him with something like Unforgiving Cold, Furious Wielder. Or I could, you know, just do the Kayn's Shadow Step thing once I pop the Spell Shield. He's got another card. And, okay, 3 Sisters. Okay, so he's probably going to obliterate the Aatrox. No, he's just going to Flash Freeze the Anaka. And then, of course, the Rune Prison. And then he's, okay, yeah, you're still taking the full damage from that Overwhelm. I don't think this is a lethal push anymore, unfortunately. But he's down to 3, which is not bad. And he still needs 2 more World Runes down. And I think I have an answer for it. Another Unforgiving Cold. I don't have enough mana for the double Unforgiving Cold. Okay, draw 3. Go find more Delves into the Past. Okay, go find another Delve into the Past. These are 2 apiece, so we could theoretically get your double drop shards. I can't do math. I might actually lose to the Ryze win condition. Does he have the last World Rune? Oh no! He actually has it. Yeah, game over. Well, yeah, I can't do math. This was the only way. Furious Wielder, Kayn Shadow Step was actually the only way I won the game. And I completely whiffed it. I literally completely whiffed it. Yeah, all he has to do is just attack, and it obliterates me. Wow! I should talk the Ryze deck, and then I lose to the Ryze deck. No! Alright, whatever. Okay, we're going out 50-50. We're going out 50-50. That's how this series goes. So game 4, for all the marbles. Game 4, for all the marbles, against Pierre, playing Zed Kayle? I don't really get it, but sure, I guess that's a combination. We finally started a hand with a Darkin weapon in it. I do feel like that's potentially a place I can call some of the bricks. I really don't think the Heedless Resurrection, like, that card's come up, I think, once. I don't even know if it was necessarily like the best play I even had, but it like came up, sure. So okay, so we'll Buhru Cultist here. It's a pretty easy way to just stymie this guy because he can't play more than 1 unit. Obviously, we can drop the Darkin Harp on this turn and just start swinging. Because this is like a lot of damage, and like you just lose the unit, right? Like I think you block, but you just lose the unit. Depending on what he's got, of course. Ionia, 2 mana. He could be on like Steel Tempest or something, which would be a weird choice, but I guess you're trying to play for late. I actually didn't think about this. This guy does count towards Kayle, because he just gets +1/+1 as long as you play more units. Okay. I think I kind of see what this guy's going. You play like all the Ionia cards that get the +1/+1. I can't say I expected that, but sure. Okay. He's just going to take the 5. Ooh. That's a big hit. course, it's back to him now. He's in a decent spot. I think, honestly, the best play for me here is just going into the Baccai and trying to save as much of this mana as possible. Like the Baccai can kind of, like, trade out with... Well, not anymore. Okay. It's just Sparring Student the deck. I understand. Yeah, and there's nothing I can really do about the Sparring Student here. Okay, we're swinging for the fences. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just kind of sponge off as much of this damage as we can. We do have the Keeper of the Box as well in hand to help get me some of that health back. Plus the Furious Wielder. I do think this was maybe a mistake now, but I do have the Furious Wielder still on deck, so I can potentially swing in for a ton off of the Buhru Cultist. We'll see. I guess this deck he's playing is just like go wide, play like a bunch of small dudes that do like double duty to help block. They're all gaining like bonus power and stuff. Like I can kind of see what he's going for here. Yeah, this does remove the Sparring Student. This does actually get rid of him. I think this is a fair trade. I don't actually care. We're keeping his guys generally off the board. And as long as we keep Furious Wielder online, I think we should be fine. Into a second one as well. So I think what we can do here is play the Kayn, summon a Liminal Guardian. Sure. That's such a... What are these cards? Okay, yeah, fine. I'm down to just take this. That's okay. I don't care. Do you have something else that's going to make... Yeah, that's fine. I'm down to take 7. That's alright. Alright. We're into the Kayn. And we should be able to level up the Kayn pretty quick. Which then will let me potentially get into the Aatrox, because I think I'll have played a Darkin unit twice. Okay, grab you. We're in for a bunch again, because his dudes are all just super weenies. And Kayn, I'm just always going to have him pick on whatever's weakest, because I just need him to flip. Okay. I'm guessing he's got a... Okay, no he doesn't. Is he just going to take the 5? Like, he could. We'd both be down at 9, just playing the... Really, why would you keep the Keeper of the Masks? Like, I think if any of these units you're going to lose, like, I'd lose the Keeper of the Masks. She doesn't do anything now. This guy, at least, is doing something for you if you have more Fae, right? I'm so curious what's in his hand. Right? Like, there's gotta be some kind of... Either that or he's doing, like, the smart player thing where you, like, you know what decisions... No, okay, he is still thinking... I was about to say, you're doing, like, the smart player thing where you, like, make a decision, but you don't commit to it because you want to take time to think through your next move. Alright, cool. Yeah, sure. That's fine. Yeah, alright. You know, that is a play you are allowed to make. Sure, syncopation, why not? He's not surviving. Kayn will chase him down. Alright, cool. Now that I know the power of this spell, based on the earlier game. Alright. So we can get the Rost here. And then we have a little bit of healing for if he tries to go wide again. This also should put the Aatrox in hand because I'll have played another Darkin. It should? Yes, it does. Okay, cool. So really kind of silly synergy. Alright, and now I'm just going to kill this guy because you don't have the mana for Deny. Get him out of here. Alright, cool. Crisis averted. Does he come down with the Kayle? She'd be pretty big by this. No, she's at 4 of 11. Never mind. This is not very good for the Kayle. Oh, hey, it's the Zed. Alright. We have 6 cost World Ender. Oh my lord. That's the crazy thing about this deck, is the amount of healing I get off of just playing ginormous bodies, and they all heal me. This is like the happiest you ever hear Aatrox, by the way. He's just so happy to finally have ended the world. But hey, we did it. The universe heard me. They're like, we're not having you go out on a lose. You're getting this dude playing jank, and you're gonna just smash him by playing Darkin. So, was that sportsmanlike of me? Probably not. Did we win anyways? Yes, we did. So, anyways, that's going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the games. I hope you enjoyed the deck. If there are any obvious misplays I made, or maybe things I can tweak about the deck, let me know all that down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. If you enjoyed the video today, go ahead and leave it a like. And if you really enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. I upload a video every Monday, Friday, and on patch days as well as semi-regular Legends of Runeterra content on Sundays. Once again, thank you guys so very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And I'll talk to you all later.